Hey everyone, thanks for listening to the Grow Your Life podcast. If we haven't met yet, my name is Jeremiah Krakowski, and on this podcast we talk about ways for you to grow in your life and your business to make more money, reach your goals, and live the life of your dreams. If you're a course creator, if you're a coach, and you want to know what does it take to make 6 figures or even 7 figures online, that's what I help you do. I've been in this industry for the last 19 years, helping course creators, coaches, trainers, and mentors scale their businesses to get as many clients and customers as possible. And so you're in the right place. Now today, we're going to talk about a question that has come up. I just launched my brand new group coaching program this week. So excited. We have so many people that have jumped into the program and dozens more that have told me that they're going to be jumping in later on this week. Oh my goodness. The questions, the feedback that have come in is great. One of the number one questions, I've actually never gotten this question before until now is, okay, I know that I want to do coaching. I know that I want to make courses. I know that I want to make money online, but how do I know what my niche is? How do I know what to focus on? How do I know what to talk about? Okay, so before we're going to go into that, I'm going to explain the interesting background here. I'm actually in one of the side rooms in our house, one of the guest rooms, because there's a bunch of people doing stuff around my house, and I waited until the last minute to record this, and so you got to make do with what you got. So if you're watching the video version, it might look a little bit weird. There's like an emu or something, or a moose or whatever that animal is, sleeping on a couch up there on the wall, okay? So now, if you are somebody, you say, I want to make more money in a business online. I want to create a course. I know that coaching and courses is a great way to make money, but what should my niche be? What should I do? Now, if you're like, I don't know what to sell, I have other episodes on that. So if you're like, I don't know what to sell online at all, you're not wanting to do courses or coaching, episode number 152, I believe it is. It's Grow Your Life 152. Nope, that one's on overcoming perfectionism. Somewhere around there, I should have an episode that's all about what the best online businesses are that you could do. Episode 150. Ideas for online businesses that you can start in 2022, okay? So that episode right there is a great place to start. I'm going to put the link in the description of this post. If you're like, I don't know if I want to do courses or coaching, this is going to give you ideas for businesses that you can do online, okay? Now, if you are going to choose courses or coaching, here's why I would say this. I recommend it because it's the fastest way to make 6 figures and 7 figures. It really is, without needing a whole lot of overhead, without needing to create physical products, and you can do so from anywhere. You can do so with just a computer and an internet connection, or even just a cell phone and an internet connection. You don't need a whole bunch of complex stuff to successfully have a business in that niche. And in my experience, this is what I've helped people with the most, is in that niche, is I've helped create multiple 8-figure coaching programs. And so if you're learning from me specifically, I'm going to really show you how to maximize the coaching and the course creation niche above everything else. If you want to do another niche, you're still going to find a lot of value from my training because it's about getting customers. It's about getting people to buy from you, okay? But specifically, okay, I'm going to coach people. I'm going to create a course. There's a course in my members area. If you're part of my accelerator, there's a course in the accelerator called Easy Course Creation Blueprint, where I walk you through step by step everything that you need to know on how to put together a course, okay? So if you're like, okay, I want to make a course on this topic, that course is literally the blueprint on how to make a course. I've created, I think, 30 courses, and from that, I put everything that I know about making courses into that one for you, okay? Then my other course, Transformational Coaching Made Simple, that you get as well with the Accelerator, is all about creating a coaching program. And coaching programs is really where the maximum level of profit is found, is how you can scale things to that level, because you're adding so much higher value with a coaching program. because you're able to come alongside people. You're not just giving them information. You're able to come alongside them, support them, and help them. So the value of what you offer goes up when you add coaching to it. I've sold my courses for $500, $1,000, but the value goes up even more when I add coaching to it. And so that's why now with my accelerator over at my website, you get all of my courses now for less than the price of one of my courses, plus coaching. You get coaching with me, where I work with you, where you get calls with me. And so if you're not in the accelerator, consider joining that. I think it would really help you. I think if you're somebody that is a course creator, if you're a coach, the Client Growth Accelerator is the number one resource out there today. I truly believe that. I stand by it. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee. I believe in it so much. I literally let you jump into the program, go through everything, and if it's not for you, great. We'll part ways at the end of 30 days. I think it's the best resource if you are a course creator or a coach to get results, to get more clients in a business. Now, you might say, great, that's great. Or you're listening to this, you say, I'm already in the program, Jeremiah, but I want to know, what should I make my course or coaching program about? That's what this is going to be. This is going to be the foundational kind of training. And I plan on using this podcast episode as when people ask me, hey, what should I make a program about? I'm going to send them this link to this video. Okay, so let's dive into this. When you are coaching people, you are finding a group of people. Let's break down what coaching and courses are, actually. Your coaching is you find a group of people that need your help to reach a goal that they have, okay? How do you discover that goal? Well, you end up connecting with people that have problems. And so in the beginning, most people are going to struggle to know exactly what that is that they should help people with. And I get that. And that's normal. And that's part of the process. So don't feel overwhelmed if you're like, man, I don't know what to make a coaching program on. I'm going to give you a testimony from myself right here. So I had built an 8-figure coaching program with my mom. And then I started this business in 2018. And I said, you know what? I'm going to help people make websites. My very first course was website building. Turns out that really wasn't the niche that I was meant to be in. So I created a advertising course. Turns out ads really isn't the niche that I want to be in. And what I realized is everybody who was coming to me for help was usually 99% of the time a coach or a course creator, and my own background was in that industry, okay? So I was able to take my own background and what people were coming to me for to create my business around. And this is where a lot of people, they're like, okay, well, what could I do? What could I do? I've only worked a corporate job, or I want to do this. Here's the first thing. Don't be afraid to change it later. So that's going to be one of the biggest pieces of advice I can give you, is if you choose a niche now, don't be afraid to change the niche later because you learned new information, okay? You can get a lot of input from what you see other people doing for courses or coaching. And if you're in the accelerator, there's a ton of coaches and course creators in there, and you can see, okay, maybe that's a niche that I want to get into. You see what I'm saying? So that jogs your memory and gives you ideas on that. There's also some questions that you can answer that can help you, okay? And these are actually taken from the course, Irresistible Offers That Sell. I tell most people to go through this to figure out what their first offer is, specifically. And you figure that out by answering some of these questions. What are you passionate about? What do you love? What are you good at? What skills do you bring to the table? Okay? I want you to write these down. Like, what are you good at? What are you passionate about? And what are you passionate about and good at that relates to or helps other people? Okay? You can build a coaching program around that. Literally, you could build a coaching program around helping people get better at video games, around helping people do their hair better, around helping people with their car, around helping people with a number of different things. It doesn't have to be difficult. There's so many different angles that you can take on this. And I'm actually going to pull up a list here. I found this the other day of some different like niches: vegetable gardening, marketing consulting, yoga stretching, drawing, artwork, home bakery, creating apps, simply creating websites, trauma coaching, life coaching, teaching people how to create courses themselves. So these are all niches right here that a lot of people, a lot of the people who learn from me, they'll do health coaching, or they'll do fitness, or they will teach marketing, or they'll teach social media content creation. You name it, these different topics can then be marketable to the market. And here's the cool thing. You don't have to be an expert on it today. You don't have to be an expert on it tomorrow. You only have to learn a few things that a lot of people don't know. Let me explain that a little bit better. Okay? See, a lot of people think, oh, I got to be this big expert before I could create a course or a coaching program. You don't. You don't have to have 19 years experience like me. And here's another thing that I'll share with you. You can learn from other experts and then help other people with what you learned from those experts. I'm an expert that you could do that with. So you could take what you learned from me and help coach other people on the same stuff that you learned from me. And you could build a coaching program around that. And you could actually build your own coaching program where people still have to even sign up for my program as part of it. And then you teach and coach them on your own on the topic. This is a great way anybody who's in my accelerator could actually instantly start a coaching program just by helping teach people and being a coach of what I'm teaching. Case in point. Or you could learn from any number of people on YouTube or books or courses that are out there. A lot of you have gone through a number of different courses over the years and you have a lot of information, but you say, why would anybody learn from me? Listen, here's the thing. The first thing that's so important when it comes to actually selling yourself as a course creator, as a coach, is you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe that you have value to offer the marketplace, that you have strategic value that you can bring to people, and that not thinking of yourself as, oh, I'm little old me, I'm not as good as other people. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop comparing yourself to what other people have done. Everybody has to start somewhere. When I started with what I know, all I knew how to do was edit videos. That's it. How did I get into this niche? I edited videos for people that were coaches and trainers in the sales industry. And I learned skills that I didn't know before. And through that trial and error and testing, I grew my skill set. And now I teach other people what I've learned. What are things that you've learned in your lifetime that you could share and coach other people on? Or what are things that you could learn in the next 6 months to a year that you could coach other people on? These are two great ways to be able to find what your niche is, okay? And here's the essential thing. You're essentially pulling people up who are a little bit behind where you are. So you might say, well, I'm not an expert on this topic, Jeremiah. I'm not an expert at this thing. You don't have to be. You don't have to be. You just have to know a little bit more than some other people. And then you market to those other people that know a little bit less than you do about that topic. You see how simple that is? I am sure that there's a number of things that you know a little bit more of than other people do about certain things. In fact, if you have experience in corporate America, you might know some really great strategies that you've learned in the marketplace that you could translate directly into a coaching program or a course. You might say, well, I still don't feel confident enough to put it out there. Well, that's where, again, I mention growing in your self-confidence, growing in your self-esteem. We are taught and raised as people by our parents, by businesses that we're in, by companies that we work for, to not feel self-confident because it makes us easier to control. That's a bomb, right? That's a big one. Everybody can feel that, especially if you've ever had somebody put you down and made you not feel good enough. School system even does that. So you have to develop inside of yourself that level of self-belief, that level of self-confidence, to then say, okay, you know what? It's not perfect, but I'm going to record a course. I'm going to go through Jeremiah's program. I'm going to record a course on this topic. Might not be the perfect topic, but I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to record a 2-hour training in maybe 4 modules, just sharing my thoughts on a certain topic, and I'm going to sell it to people for $200 or $500 and see how many people buy it. And that right there is how you break into the course creation and coaching industry. And yet so many people are overthinking and overanalyzing what I just shared with you. It's not that complicated. It's not that difficult. You just have to take the first steps to move forward instead of talking yourself out of it, instead of letting what's between your 2 ears convince you that you're not good enough, that you have to get to a certain level before you can, and just start now with what you got. Just start now with what's in front of you. Now, you might say, well, I wish I had a better blueprint. Again, if you're in my accelerator, those 2 courses, Transformational Coaching Made Simple and Easy Course Creation Blueprint. Those 2 courses literally walk you through how to create a coaching program and how to create your first course. Okay? I tell you how to come up with those ideas, how to come up with what idea you should create a course on in that. Okay? And so if you're like, well, okay, I have an idea, great. If you have somewhat of an idea by this point, there it is. Now, if you still don't have any idea, here's what I would invite you to do. Here's a little exercise of how to break past the muck inside your head. Go for a walk. 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Get your body moving. Maybe eat something beforehand so you don't pass out. And I want you to just think about, what would I create a course or coaching program on while you go for a walk? And you might have to do this for a couple days, a couple times. I'm telling you, this is literally a strategy that I use and that my clients have used that produces results. Like this is going to break you out of the stuckness. Go for a walk. And when an idea pops in your head of, maybe I could coach on that, maybe I could teach on that, write it down. Don't go into, well, maybe I'm not good enough. Well, maybe I don't know enough. Well, maybe I'm not at the right level yet. Don't even let your brain go into that because it's going to want to. Okay? Write down a list of those ideas. And then take that list of ideas, go for a walk again or do something, put it aside, come back to it a day or 2 later, and decide which one of those ideas really stands out to you. I'm telling you, if you do this, you will get clarity on what your niche should be. You will get clarity on doing that. Literally, most people, if you listen to this episode and you haven't done that exercise that I just gave you, I don't know much what to say on how to help you at this point. Because you're literally choosing to not do what works. And so, try it out. Go for a walk. Write some ideas down. The reason I say go for a walk, so walking has been found to, instead of like meditating, sitting in a chair and meditating, walking is a form of meditation. Mentally, the brain ends up firing in a very similar way. And so what ends up happening is when you're focusing on one idea specifically, and you're looking at nature and stuff like this, it cuts through a lot of the weeds in your brain just by going through for a walk. And it'll help you make decisions better. Oftentimes when I'm stuck on making a hard decision, I will go for a walk, or I will go for a 30-minute drive in my car, driving in a car. You ever notice you get the best ideas in the shower or in a car or stuff like that? It's literally because the mental state that you go into is conducive of cutting through a lot of the overthinking. And that's actually where you come up with your best ideas. Okay? And so answering those questions, what am I passionate about? What skills do I have? How can I help others? Or what skills do I want to learn to help others with? And then you can figure out, okay, is there a market for this? What is the biggest problem and frustration that this market has? And what solution and outcome can I bring to their life? Okay? So here's the biggest problem and frustration that course creators and coaches have that I found. Getting customers to pay them money. Honestly, this part of it that we're talking about right here, finding your niche and creating the course, is actually the easy part. It really is. You don't want to spend a whole lot of time doing that part of it. You really want to minimize that amount of time of actually this part of it, because the real work is getting customers. And so the solution that I solve is I teach people how to get customers the right way, how to adjust their messaging, how to adjust your copy, how to create offers that people can't say no to. Okay? And then you want to figure out, okay, is what I'm going to offer. Am I going to be doing something for somebody? Is it a service that you're going to offer? Your offer could be a service. Am I going to do it with them, or is it going to be do it yourself? So a course is always do it yourself. A coaching program is always done with you. And then done for you is I have $20,000 a month clients where I do their marketing for them at $20,000 a month. How are we making consistently multiple 6 and 7 figures? This is how. This model right here. Okay? And so when you identify what is that thing, and here's another thing I want to invite you to do. You might say, well, everything's all been done before. I want to do something unique that nobody's done before. Here's what sets you apart is that you are uniquely yourself. You are not like anybody else. And so are there other people that teach coaching and courses out there? Yes, there are, but they're not me, and I think I'm the best at doing it. I think I'm one of the best people out there at this very thing. And so that's why I confidently know that I can help pull somebody up to the level of making 6 and 7 and even 8 figures in the coaching and course industry. That's what I promise with my coaching program. That's what I help people do. So what is it, though, that you can do that you can help guide people along the process of doing? Now, you might say, well, I've never done it before. You know, Jeremiah, you've done it for so long. I've never done it before. Well, start with one person. Help bring positive impact to one person and build your case studies that way. You know, when I started in this business, I had been working with my mom, and we had built an 8-figure coaching program. And she had told me I couldn't use any of the customers, any of the people that we had worked with. I couldn't use any of the email lists. I couldn't claim that I had built that business. I had to start from scratch, just like everybody else, with this business and build up brand new case studies from scratch. Was it hard? It was. It was difficult. It took a grind in the beginning, but now we have dozens of case studies of people that we've helped make money with their coaching and courses, making 7 figures, making 6 figures. And so with that, it all starts with taking the first step. For some of you, taking that first step is going to be jumping into my coaching program, the Accelerator, over at my website, jeremiahkrakowski.com/accelerator, to help you get into an environment of people that are working on a same goal together. And then go through those courses: Easy Course Creation Blueprint, Irresistible Offers That Sell, Transformational Coaching. Get on one of the live coaching calls and ask questions. Be interacting in the group, posting in the group, asking questions along the way. Anywhere that you get stuck, I want you to think about, at the end of watching this podcast episode, what questions in you did this inspire in you? And then go ask me those questions on my social media, and I'll help guide you from there. Okay? It just takes the first step. It just takes starting from where you're at. And I think that anybody can build a full-time income in coaching, in courses, if they've never done it before, with what I just shared with you on this podcast episode. And some of you might have to listen to this episode over and over again to really start to get it. Again, I tell you that exercise of going for a walk, writing it down is really going to help you. All right? Listen, if this has helped you, please consider jumping into the accelerator, the Client Growth Accelerator. No more waiting. No more sitting on the fence of saying, maybe I'd like to build a business. Maybe I'd like to make a full-time income as a course creator, as a coach. It's time to step out of the boat and step into what's possible for you. I'll see you in there. We'll talk soon.